What it do, guys? Your boy Trippy here, back with another Tom Macdonald reaction video. Alright, so this one is America. I'm pretty sure this is something really politically incorrect, I'm guessing. Normally some of the things he says on the political side I agree with, but there's also a lot of things that I don't agree with, but I still rock with Tom Macdonald for his lyricism. And if the case is that he's doing it to get the ball rolling, get the conversation going so people can be talking, that's dope. I rock with that. But if it's to get people to, how can I say this? If it's to get people to think the way he thinks or the way his fan base thinks, then I don't rock with that. But at the same time, I am rocking with the fact that if it's trying to get the conversation going, like I'm saying, I'm cool with it. But I'm starting to notice a trend in his music. It's starting to be more political, like, because I feel like he's riding the political wave. I feel like we should calm down on that a little bit right now so we can go back to normal. But let's go ahead and see what Tom Macdonald's talking about. I also noticed that he dropped 2 albums the same time, or around the same time he dropped this. I haven't done reactions in a while, but I'm getting back in that grind. So I'm going to check out this song, and hopefully I'm going to try to find out a song that's just rapping and not, you know, so political. So no more need for introduction. Let's go and see what Tom Macdonald's talking about.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying.
Okay, I was rocking with it at first. Like I see what he was saying, but then he's talking about, oh, okay, this is gonna be a tough one. All right, so he's at the beginning he was talking about how there's a lot of Americans that hate America, which is a fact. There is a lot of Americans who hate the way our country has been ran and the way it looks in the past. Well, since the beginning, really. There's never really been a good time in America. But basically he's talking about how people hate the cops. They do hate the cops, which I think, that's tough. That's wrong. There's a lot of good cops out there. But there's also a lot of bad cops out there. And a lot of sketchy that they be doing. Like, I'm trying to cuss so much. But there's a lot of bad cops out there as well. And I think you have to acknowledge that too. And then he's talking about, I'm guessing Kaepernick or just NFL players really, or just athletes kneeling, you know, for the anthem. I don't see that as wrong. I served in the Air Force. Like, people kneeling does not bother me whatsoever. And I know of people that's also in the military, it doesn't bother them either. And you have a lot of people speaking for, trying to speak for all troops, and I hate that, because if you talk to most troops, they don't find that dishonorable or messed up at all. Like, because they realize that they fight and we fought, you know, for those freedoms, to be able to protest and to be able to kneel during the anthem if you choose to. Like, that's your choice. That's what it's about, being here in America. So they don't find it dishonorable at all. It's actually honorable to kneel. I think I said this before in one of my past videos. If you're in, you know, if you're marching or whatever, or you're in formation and you're in parade rest or at the position of attention, and they would tell us, you know, take a knee. Or if you're in formation and you feel like you're about to pass out, take a knee. Like, taking a knee is actually very respectful. When you lose a brother in an arm, or you're honoring them, or, you know, something, like you take a knee. Like, so I really don't understand the hate for players taking a knee. So I feel like people are just hating to be hating at this point. But yeah, so I gotta disagree with Tom on that one. Like, that's a bad start, but let's go.
I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear.
And also, real bravery is also dying for the right for people to do that. I said that before, but he just said it in the song. So we gotta keep it, you know, gotta keep it fair. Gotta stay on both sides. So man, this is tough, because I rock with Tom Macdonald. I rock with him, but I feel like he's going to say a lot of things that I'm not going to agree with just from off the start. Like, because I kind of see the direction he's going with this. So let's go.
America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it.
Okay, so Tom's Canadian, right? I'm not saying this like saying that he don't have a right to feel this way about the country, but he does. I'm pretty sure he's American. Like, he lives here in America now, but, you know, you're born and raised in Canada. Like, it's different looking from the outside in. like looking from the outside in, like people say America's way worse than it is, and looking from the outside in, people are saying it's way better than it is. Like, yes, we're better than most countries, but at the same time, we do have our problems. Like, it's not a bad thing for people wanting change and fighting against, you know, for better things for all people. Like, I see nothing wrong with that. So just because people, all right, it's tough. Like, people do complain a lot. They do complain about a lot of bull that, you know what I mean, that's just the cause of social media, and that's exposing how many idiots, you know, that shouldn't have a phone, you know, that shouldn't be, you know what I mean? There's too many of them. I feel like it's tough looking back at him being Canadian, looking from the outside in. There's a lot of our history that a lot of people, even in America, don't know about, like, that has went down here in this country. So I feel like it's kind of wrong for, you know, somebody to come in and just say, hey, stop complaining about your country when you just got here. I'm not saying he just got here, but you know what I mean. Like, when you're born, you're used to another country. Especially Canada's dope. So from what I've seen and heard, like, Canada seems like a nice place. I mean, they have their problems as well, but we have a lot of them. We have a lot of problems that we need to fix, and a lot of things that are not okay. So I know some things do come off as complaining, and it is annoying, but some of these things, some voices do deserve to be heard. So I feel like when you're saying you don't want to listen to the complaining and stop, you know, I'm trying not to cuss. This is hard. Trying not to crap on the country. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're putting them people, like, when you're saying not to, you know, crap on the country, you know, not to say anything bad about the country, not to hate on the country, you're pretty much, you know, silencing all people that are actually trying to, like, get their voices heard. So I feel like you shouldn't say that, but I see why he said it though, but I also disagree. So
I just seem to see the ones aware cares that it's embarrassing, it's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage.
Oh, and also the heritage. That's another thing he said. Heritage is messed up. Like, when you look at the history of America and, like, how we used to run things, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, there's people in our country that has done horrible things to some good people, or, you know what I mean? Like, just the way we almost wiped out the Native Americans. We almost wiped out bison. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, we almost wiped out bison. I read something on an article not too long ago saying that when they were trying to eradicate Native Americans and, like, pretty much move them out the country, Americans would kill the bison. Like, they round up pretty much all the bison in the surrounding areas, and I believe there's only, like, the remaining bison we see today in America is, like, off of 17 like bison they left alive. Like, that's it, 17, you know. So what they left alive, like, it was less than 20, I know that, but that's insane. Like, that's how many bison they wiped out, just to, like, push and eradicate the Native Americans, trying to, like, take away their food and stuff like that. So we done a lot of messed up things. That's just one thing. We done a lot of messed up things in the country, and some of our leaders were not good people. Like, regardless of what they did, they were terrible people. Like, we have to acknowledge that and be aware of that, and so we can listen to everybody's stories, because that's one thing with social media. We're starting to hear a lot of things about different cultures that we realize today are not okay, that we just never knew because we weren't aware. Now that we're aware, we should do something about it to change it. So heritage. So some of the heritage is messed up. So I definitely agree with some of the taking down some of the statues of some people, like Confederates. Like, why do we have statues of traitors? Like, I don't get that. But anyway, that's another debate. Let's get
Help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment.
Facts. Okay, right there, I agree with him on that. Everything he said right there was facts. Like, it is, everything on social media is left-leaning, and it is full of, like, cancel culture. Like, you look at Twitch is full of left-winging streamers, and, like, a lot of conservatives nobody rocks with conservatives. It's tough because, like, it's really tough. Like, I'm not left or right. I don't agree with everything left. I don't agree with everything right. Like, I'm just here in the middle. But I do understand why a lot of things are left-winging, like, or is towards the left side, because it's more acceptable. I'm guessing that's a word for it. It's more acceptable. Like it's not like a lot of conservative beliefs is. I'm not saying all, but a lot of conservative beliefs are. I try to put this in a nice way. It rubs certain people the wrong way, like abortions and not allowing gay marriage or things like that, like being against gay marriage or being against, you know, the LGBTQ community. Like, I get it, it's not fair. Like, no, it's not fair. Like, it's not fair that social media is ran by cancel culture. I think that's ridiculous. I talked about that in my past video. That is ridiculous to try to cancel somebody just off of a tweet or something they did years ago. Like, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, I do believe in holding people accountable. So that's why it's tricky. Right there, I agree with everything he's saying though. So I feel him on that. So let's run that.
You don't like it, leave. We will not defund believe. Republicans are liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about it. And I'm not even a minute in the song yet, and I already had a lot to say. Once again, I can see why he's saying the things he's saying, but when you don't have all the information and if you don't understand like the people and like what they're going through, you're not gonna. That's the way these things look from the outside in. When you don't understand, like there's a reason for these riots. People aren't just rioting for no reason. Like, let's talk about it. Like, people riot when they're fed up. Like when they exercise all options and every turn they've been pushed away. So I don't. What left was there to do? You know what I mean? People are tired of, you know, police killing people. Like, people are tired of a lot of things that are going on here in America that are not right. You know, like people are tired of, you know, cops not being held accountable. And like, these are people that should be, you know, judged the most. It's the people, you know what I mean, they're supposed to serve and protect, but for some reason they get protected the most. I don't get that. But there's a lot to it. So when you don't understand all those things, and you don't understand the history, you don't understand what people have been going through, this is the way you think. So like, I understand why he's like, once again, I understand why he's saying it, but there is so many layers that it will take too long to put in one video to unpack the reason why all these things are happening. Let's go.
In America, we don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me.
Wait, pause real quick. I do like this beat though. This beat's pretty nice. Let's go.
In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want...
Alright, so once again, I see what he's saying. Like, I understand where he's coming from. Like, so it goes back to my point just a minute ago. But I don't believe that there's real patriots. Like I did before I joined the military, and I'm saying that because like people really don't care like that. Like, they just like to say they do. You know what I mean? Like, if you ask troops in the military, like they'll tell you this. Like, people don't really rock with them like they say they do. Like, yeah, you're glad they're, you know, fighting for your freedom and things like that. But there's a lot of people out there that there's veterans who have fought for their freedom, and y'all don't even give them $1 of change. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you say, oh, you're probably going to use it on drugs, or oh, he's probably going to get a 40 with it, or buy some liquor. Like, that's the things y'all say about the veterans that we have on the street. There's a bunch of them. There's thousands, and nobody helps them. So I really don't feel like people really care the way they claim they do. Like, you know what I mean? Or you can ask somebody in the military. I see this a lot online. They all agree of how when you're in the military, like, it's so hard to keep them relationships back home because like people want you to spend thousands of dollars to come see them and then come to them when you do come back home, but they can't even do it for you. Like, you know what I mean? So like, That's one thing that I hated when I came home. Everybody wanted to see me, but nobody's making the effort to come see me. They want me to come doing all the traveling, me to come see them. Like, no, like, if you want to see me, come see me. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of fake patriotism. I'm not saying there's not patriots. There's a lot of good patriots out there. People that just couldn't serve, people that did serve in the past, and they're retired. And so there are some patriots out there. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of more fakeness than there is real. I've noticed from my experiences and other of my friends that I've talked to. Like, people really don't rock with the troops the way they claim they do until they see them in uniform. Once they see you in uniform, okay, then you get respect. But as soon as you put that uniform down, nobody really rocks with you like that. So let's go.
Celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties? I can't help it.
Oh, I kind of agree with him with that a little bit. Like, I don't think, I hate that, white people get the hate for something that Christopher Columbus did like thousands, I don't want to say thousands, like a couple of 100 years ago. We should be aware, we should acknowledge, what happened. I don't think we should take away Thanksgiving, like, because it stands for something completely different than what happened, to a lot of people. There's a lot of Americans that don't even know, like, the real history of Thanksgiving. All they know is it's bringing our families together. That's all they know. I don't believe in canceling out Thanksgiving. I feel like you should celebrate it. But at the same time, we do have to acknowledge what happened back then with Christopher Columbus and all the terrible and heinous crimes this man did to the native people. I don't think people should be blamed for it, though, like, besides the person that did it. You know what I mean? I believe you should still celebrate Thanksgiving, but at the same time, just be aware of what happened and how that affected a whole race of people and their culture.
I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need...
Man, I don't want to pause it so much, but there's so many things to talk about that's fucking facts right there. That was facts. Like, people get high prescriptions and other people can't even afford it. Like, but that goes against the system. Like, so he's kind of right there. He's kind of contradicting himself. How he just said, it's kind of a contradiction because he's sitting there saying, let's run that back real quick so I don't mess it up. All right, right there. He's saying that it's not black and white. It's, the government's, causing this confliction between us. Like, they're the ones who's really, pushing this narrative. All right, I kind of agree with that. There is a black and white issue, but I do also think that it's fueled by the media. So that's another debate. But so he's right there. He's talking about the systems in America and how that's messed up. America's doing that. Like, pretty much, they're the ones in charge of, fueling that black and white thing. All right, so back then at the end of that, he said, what'd he say? Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescription. That's the system. Like, that's an American system. So you got to understand, like, that's messed up. Like, just because we charge an outrageous rate on medicine, like, in other countries don't even charge anything close to the amount as we do. So that's something to fight against. That's something to be mad about. That's something to hate the country and the system for. Like, that we have these in place to people that actually need these medications, can't even afford it. Like, so now are you starting to see the hate and the anger from most people? All right, then. So yeah, that's kind of a contradiction. So back to him saying the black and white thing, how, hey, no, it's not a black and white problem. It's an American system. Like, wait, am I saying that right?
I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system.
It's conflict designed by the system. So right there, he's saying that the system is flawed. Right there, so you understand. If you can understand that the system is flawed, you can't say that's the only thing flawed about the system. There's it's a ladder effect or a domino effect. It's a whole bunch of things that's flawed, that the system's flawed by, or flawed with, whatever.
I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw your status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America.
I like that line. I don't agree with it, but I like that.
Your freedom ain't free in America. Got soldiers dying overseas, so America, you say what we believe, my America. I want can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America.
Alright, most of what he's saying right there was facts. Like, the majority of things he was saying right there were facts. I'm gonna run it back because there was a couple things I missed because as soon as I caught a bar, I was like, okay, but I missed a couple things. But the majority of what I heard, most of that was facts. Like, I'll run that back.
Values of America. America. You can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America.
I agree. So I agree with everything besides the saying that the foundation of America is concrete. I believe that's what he said. It's concrete. I don't know, because the foundation, how we became about, the way we were as Americans back then, there's nothing to be proud of when we look at the full story from other people and not just our story and what we tell. Like, so that's a different debate. But yeah, most things he's saying right there, I agree with.
Your freedom ain't free in America. Got soldiers dying overseas, so America, you can say what we believe, my America. I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
Once again, another dope video, La Nova. And it's something so simple. Like, it's not like a huge budget. It's just them at their house type shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Like, this is the first time I'm glad to say this, but for the majority of the song, I pretty much disagreed with Tom on this song. Like, I couldn't rock with everything. Like, there's a lot of truth to the things he was saying, but I feel like when he's talking about like American issues, like like the history and about people complaining and whining, I feel like stay out of that, like, because there's so much more. There's like so many deeper layers that I don't think he understands, and I feel like if he did understand, he wouldn't say these things. So like, let me know what you think about this song. Let me know what you think about this reaction down in the comment box below. I know a lot of people's probably going to hate on it, but this is how I feel, man. Like, I have to disagree with Tom on this one. But I'm still a fan. I'm still rocking with him. I don't want to hear much of political Tom. Probably the next video reaction I do of Tom's going to be just him spitting bars. So yeah, man, this your boy Trippy. We out.